get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
Yes, it's damn good coffee and hot. You know what? I should learn my lesson and not start messing with things seconds before the show, especially when we have other things going on. Good morning, folks. It is Thursday. I got that right. Thursday, March 16th, 2023. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Your week's almost over. Good for you. We are live on Live 365 this morning. And I don't know how it's going because I'm not going to monitor it, because monitoring it for me would cause a whole lot of feedback loops and stuff like this. If you would like to take us with you, portable, on the road, on demand, pod, as they say, there is an app for that. Live365.com is so you can take it in the cars with you. Right now, you can go to live365.com. Here's the link to the actual show link. Now you can go there, or you can go to the App Store for whatever phone device you use and look up Live 365. And then once you get that app, look up our show, Mind Dog. Just put Mind Dog in the search, and the show will come up, and you can add that as a favorite. And 3 weeks from today, looks like Willie he can't wait to get in here. Hello, Willie. Good morning.
Good morning.
2 weeks from today, the individual personalized apps for Live 365 for Mind Dog TV, just for this show, and a whole bunch of other extra add-ons will be out for iOS and Android. You can download those absolutely free from the app stores, and we'll make them available also through minddogtv.com. So big things are happening here. Now, what that is, Live 365 right now is 24/7 music, except for when we're doing a show like this, and it breaks in, and now you can hear this show, you can hear my evening show, you can hear Of Dykes and Man, and we're going to be including the Last Rites podcast and maybe grow some more shows in there as the future goes on. So
Sweet.
good things are happening. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
How do you know it sounds awesome?
What do you mean, how do I know?
How do you know it sounds awesome? You haven't heard it yet. You haven't gone to Live 365, and it could sound like poo. You could get there right now.
Well, I will say that just the idea of it sounds quite amazing to me.
The idea sounds awesome.
Yeah. Can't wait to check it out.
That's great. Yay for us. Anyway, we'll also be on iTunes, tuned in. I'm sorry, iTunes. iTunes is a thing of the past now, right? Tuned in, which is, I believe, 30 million listeners worldwide will have access to us, and on iHeartRadio. All that. And then, while I was making sure today we kicked that off, just for Preston Williams, by the way, we kicked it off just for him. We could have done it yesterday. I could have done it tomorrow, but I said, no, let's do this for Preston Williams, because I know worldwide, especially like Eastern European bloc, all that stuff, they're really hyped to be hearing Preston Williams today in their cars, because it's nighttime over there, and my voice is already kind of weak. So a lot of things going on, and all that stuff going on. I'm on Twitter, and I see Kick Streaming is trending. Kick Streaming, what's that? I don't know about that. And then I go look at it. It says, if you're not streaming on Kick, why are you even streaming? If you're on YouTube and Twitch and all that, you got to be on Kick. That's where everybody is. This is 3 minutes before the program's supposed to go live. I'm like, all right, I got to get on Kick. So I said, I'm quick doing a profile there. Meanwhile, I'm telling Preston, you need a light on. And I'm setting up that stream and getting all that information in there, setting it up. And it says categories. and it's asking me what category I want to be in. I'm trying to put in like talk shows and say how to talk to 18-year-old girls. It's giving me all. I'm like, no, I just want to put talk show in. Oh, how to talk to your grandmother about sex? What? No, I want to talk. I just want to put talk shows in. It won't let me just put talk shows in. So I started the stream, and then error on Kick. It's not working on Kick. I don't know. We'll get Kick working tomorrow, or you can kick me over it. Anyway, where you been? It's been a long week, and I haven't heard from you yet. Where you been?
Where have I been? I mean, I've been here on the grounds in Grants working. There's been work to do the last few days, so um, but yeah, I was just taking a little bit of time because
You're licking your wounds.
yeah, because I don't handle frustration the best. You know what I mean? Like, like, um, and it just, there's a lot of things I still just don't understand. As far as like, um, I guess to me, I've always been the kind of person that like, if if someone like expresses to me that there's an opportunity for me to make money also, well then I mean I would tell people about the show. You know what I mean? But like, and so like I don't understand how people don't promote shows that they're on or shows that they're plays. You know what I mean? Like, um I just
They don't
felt
know
like
how. That's basically it. I mean, and they feel like. Well, I'm not speaking for everybody here, but I understand your frustration with that. But uh, it seems to me a lot of people don't know how, don't have the confidence to feel like they're doing it correctly or whatever. That's the main
right.
problem with people. People just, I'm not a marketing guy. I don't know what to do. Just fucking post it, man. Oh, that first F-bomb of the day. Thank you. First F-bomb. I should get. And when I first started the show, I had an F-bomb counter that automatically, like, it would tally up F-bombs as I went through the show. I got to
It
reinstall
would
that.
like it would just recognize you
Oh,
saying the
I heard
word
he
and
said
count it.
"fuck." Oh, that's second F-bomb. And a little
Oh my
bomb.
god, that reminds me of remember the movie Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone, and they had violations of the verbal parameter. If you said something wrong, there would be like this little man. You have violated the verbal parameter. You have been sanctioned 1 credit, and it comes out with a little piece of paper. That's how Sylvester Stallone didn't need to use the seashells. Is
I
he just kept cussing at the little box.
don't know the movie. I'm gonna have to
Oh
find out about it.
Oh my god, it's a classic '90s movie. Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Demolition Man. You'll love it.
I know the
It's
name
hilarious.
Demolition Man. Yeah, I remember. Wesley Snipes. He's still around. He's still working.
I don't know. I
He
mean, I'm
was
sure he's still around. I'm sure he's still doing things.
he was in hiding, right? Because he was wanted. He was wanted for, I think, tax
The tax
evasion or
thing,
something.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, tax. Yeah.
and he was staying abroad and not coming home to the old USA. We're a little hot on Live 365. Thanks for the feedback over there. But yeah, it looks to be going pretty good. I'm pretty excited about this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, the simulcasting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't pull the trigger on it for a long time because there's a great expense tied to it, but also because they don't offer a whole lot of technical support on this thing, and they still aren't. I had to figure this out myself. The software they gave me that they created, Live 365 encoder, doesn't work, so I had to find another solution. StreamYard doesn't have any solution for working with them. Gotta get on the ball with this. I can't be the only one who wants to do this, but I'm the only one doing it now, so that's cool. That's cool.
You're an innovator.
Right. So we're gonna bring Preston in just 1 second. I just want to kind of set something that we can maybe talk about during this this hour or so. Last night's program, I had a guy on, Jackhammer, not a jackhammer, Jackhammer.
Is he a porn star?
Well, Not a jackhammer, but I think that's a cool name. I would like to have that name, Jackhammer. His name is Jack Cammer, not Jack Hammer. Jack Cammer, but it sounds like you're saying Jack Hammer. I was like, that's like a fucking a Tom Clancy thing, or a James
Right.
Bond, or you could be an action hero with a name like that. But he's an old guy, white hair, same red sweater that he uses on every program. Sorry to say. It was so lots of comments in the chat room about the red sweater, and it's like, and I looked through his past episodes of podcasts he's been on. He's always got that red sweater. He's wearing the red sweater in the promo for the show that I did last night with him.
He's a clothing minimalist.
What he is a counter feminist. He hates women. Basically, if you put, and I asked him, "You don't hate women, do you?" He said, "I don't hate all women." That's his comeback. I mean, the answer to that is no. If you want to keep your penis, the answer to that question is no. I don't hate women.
For sure.
But I didn't ask him if he was married. I got it.
I will. Oh, go ahead. You asked him if he was married?
I'm remiss in not asking him if he was married, but he wrote a book, his latest book. First, he wrote it. It's not his latest book. He wrote it in 1994, but he claims it got canceled by, I'm going to forget the name of the publishing company, but it's a pretty big publishing company. They canceled it because they were worried about the feminist kickback against it. He's all about men. Men are oppressed, and we need to stop the oppression of men. So, listen, there's a part of me that resonates with me. When I was a young man, I had that angst. I felt like, you know what? I wrote a song about called "They Got It Easy These Days," and the women of the world, they got it easy these days. So I don't want to hear about ERA because the feminine gender's got it made in the shade. They got the power in a delicate way. They don't get what they want just by spreading their wings, but it opens up the doors to so many things. If they use it too much, all the things they will say, because a nasty reputation never goes away. Yeah, you can call me anything you want. That's all right. I say the girls got it easy. Anyway, so I resonate with that idea because when I was a young man, I was filled with this angst of seeing young girls. All they had to do was put a skirt on, and they would make more money than I would. When I was driving a truck. I had a college degree. They're right out of high school, but they got leg, and they're getting paid for it. And I resented that. But as I grew in life and got a little more educated, I realized, it's a very complicated world. But to say men are oppressed is, I think, taking it way too far. I think there are subtleties to power, and we'll discuss this if we want. It's time to bring Preston in before I ramble on too much about this. But the show was all about men being oppressed, poor men, and women hating thing. And I was trying to pull him back off the get your penis cut off ledge, but he was determined to, and he got angry with me a couple of times. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about how women suck. It was fun. Preston is here with us now. Preston is headlining a couple of shows. Is it this weekend or next weekend?
Next weekend.
24th and 25th of March in South Dakota, like
North Dakota.
It's in the United States. Oh, North Dakota?
Yeah, Fargo is in North Dakota.
Oh, he's in Fargo in North Dakota, but he's from South Dakota, but he's going to North Dakota. The Dakotas are a couple of, they're like places in the United States. I know you never heard of them. They're
flyover states.
They're kind of new. Sometimes people go there when it's warm out, but not now because it's not.
Oh God, nobody's going there now.
Anyway, the king of the Dakotas is here with us, ladies and gentlemen. Please open your ears and open your minds and welcome back the fabulous Preston.
Howdy.
How are you?
Hello.
How you guys doing? I enjoyed the slam poetry session. That was nice.
Yeah.
So king of the Dakotas, how is things in the Dakotas? Is winter over in the Dakotas?
No, we're actually getting 3 inches of snow today.
Wow.
It never stops.
We got 12 inches the other night, but it didn't
sounds like
snow.
A party.
Well, it didn't snow.
Exactly.
What else is new? What else is new with you besides the two? And why nothing in your own neighborhood? You got to go all the way to North Dakota.
Well, I'm trying to get on the road more. I've been in Sioux Falls in the South Dakota area. And by the way, the Dakotas aren't new. It's just that you just heard of them. There's a difference. They've been around. They're not new. It's just that you're just now hearing about them.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they officially states?
Yeah, well, depends on
territories.
Your
Territories.
We got more cows than people. I don't know what we count as.
Well,
that's probably true.
I made that up, and I'm already thinking it's a fact. I don't even.
No, yeah, that's actually probably true. Honestly,
I think it's true. That was true of New Mexico when I was there, but that was many moons ago. That was in the 80s, but there were definitely more cows than people. Probably still true of New Mexico.
I don't even think the entire state of South Dakota. I don't think their population is even over 1 million. I think they're at like 800,000 somewhere around there.
I grew up in the 5th biggest city in South Dakota, and that was a population of 20,000.
Wow!
Right?
Yeah,
right.
That's.
Well, I could tell you 100 years ago, 110 years ago, when Tesla lived here, we had more cows than people and the people said that when he was testing his death ray, his Tesla coil or whatever the hell he was testing here, that he was levitating cows. The farmers all came out and found their cows hovering in the air.
That's when he was messing with that vibration stuff.
They were smoking some good shit. But that's part of a PBS documentary on Tesla where the folks of Shurham came out to notice their cows were floating in the air.
Wow, that'd be great. I can just imagine some farmers walking out like, I gotta stop drinking this moonshine. This is
right. This is a really good batch.
Preston, do you have a woman?
Yeah, I got a woman. I'm actually getting married this year in a few months.
All right.
Woo, congratulations.
I don't know how to say. I want to say congratulations, and I also want to say you fucking idiot. What's wrong?
I always have this debate with myself whenever someone tells me they got a divorce, I say congratulations.
Right. And you should.
Right. It's always.
It depends. You say congratulations if she didn't take everything, like half your wealth. If you had no money, it's a good thing. If you had nothing to take,
right,
you're ahead of the game.
There's a 50-50 shot they'll get that. They're happy about it. That's
right. But so if you're getting married, then chances are you don't hate women, or at least all women.
No, not all women.
Do you?
So, okay, I have one philosophy on this. I got one thing to say on this, and that's it. Like the one thing I'm mad that women got that men don't have is that emotional support from peers. One of the things I've been trying to do, and I've been doing a few bits on this, I'm really just trying to get it, into the consciousness of people, is I think men should say they love you to each other more.
I love you, Preston.
I love you too, bro. That's a fucking I got no joke for this. That's just on some real shit. Women say they love each other all the time. All the time.
That's and a good thing.
If you're not in a relationship, the last time someone told you loved you was probably your mama.
But you could. I would suggest this if it sounds like a new concept to you, saying I love you to a man. Here's what I do. Well, or what I did when I first started doing this. I would tighten my butt cheeks up before saying it.
Yeah, what? Just in case they misinterpret? What are you doing?
No, just to get you to. It's like training wheels. It's like to get you over the hump of being able to say it. The homophobia kicks in, and you say, "Wait a minute! If I just lock it up, now I can say it."
Yep.
You know what? I think that's why my friends who tell me that they love me, like it's only been about 18 months since they all stopped saying no homo right afterwards.
Right. No, there is a gap. Like me and my good buddy, I call him my brother. We started, because like I just do believe like we need more support. I think it's a good thing to hear. And like what we do is like he's left the other day, and as he's pulling out the drive, he goes, "Preston, love you," and I go, "Love you," and he goes, "Gay." And say that's fine. That's what you say. If you have to start at that level, that's okay. You just gotta get it. Start doing it.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Once you get used to it and you get over your homophobia, it's fine saying that stuff.
Yeah.
But so this conversation I had last night was really, it was eye opening to me because this guy, and I'm sure he's not alone in this feeling that men are oppressed, and that and the reason why it makes sense to me is I had a relationship that the girl came from the S&M world, and she was a submissive. And so I started looking into it, and this therapist told me submissives generally have the power, but in a dominant submissive relationship, it is soft power, but they generally are in control. And it was like a paradigm. Holy shit, what do you mean? But a lot of the things he was saying were along that lines, and I started to think, well, there are some benefits. There were no doubt there's an upside to being a woman. You can get things. You're allowed to express feelings. You're allowed to have feelings. You're allowed to express feelings, and people don't think less of you.
Yeah.
But to say that men are oppressed, I just keep feeling like, you know what, and what's the solution here? Well, we have to kind of take it back. Take it back. Wait a minute. You're not going to make a whole lot of friends in the political world by saying that. Even the strongest conservatives are going to be like, that's not the language we want to use around this stuff. Insult them, call them woke, whatever you want to call. But I don't know. Any thoughts on whether the power balance between the sexes?
See, it's this is the problem with generalizing shit like that. Like, I grew up around strong women. I grew up. I had I had no male figures in my life growing up. Grew up around strong fuck women. I don't get half the shit you're talking about. I grew up. My auntie, if they had a man hit them, they wouldn't leave. They'd wait till they go to sleep and they fucking stab him. That's what you fucking do. I don't fucking get it. That's what my auntie would do. There's no fucking. I don't get it. It's individual. You fucking. Everyone has the ability to be strong. Get fucking.
That's what I kept saying. He was overgeneralizing these things and saying women this and women that and men this and men that, and I was like, don't you have to? Because he was talking about his book getting, as he used the word, canceled, which I'm not sure I even believe in canceling anymore. I mean, you can get canceled if your show doesn't get ratings, and
right.
But the idea that somebody can turn off your career, they turned off his book, these publishing house, and he said it was a guy who was in charge of the publishing house, but his reason for not publishing the book after being gung-ho about it was the kickback he would get from all his female feminist employees would just be too much. I was like, well, could it be that guy was a pussy and not a smart businessman? Because for me, I would want a book that's going to create just hate, because that's going to sell. People are going to be out protesting your book. It's going to be on every show. In 1994, when he wrote it, it would have been on Oprah, because she'd want to be talking about the book that everybody is banning, and it would be great and great for business. So could it be that individual was just weak and a terrible business? Both things. Weak, not able to stand up to the women who work for him, and just not a good businmisman.
No, the book was bad. That was
the point I was trying to get him to admit.
The book was just terrible. There was misspellings. He never used one comma. It was a terrible fucking book.
Right. It's kind of like that. That's what I was, and then he got mad at me. But I was saying there's a lot of people who overestimate their quality of their show, and they get pissed when people don't show up. I had a guy I booked one time, and he destroyed the club because nobody came to see him. I was like, it's not the club's fault that nobody's coming to see you. Maybe your book didn't get published because the publisher really decided it was no good, and maybe he didn't have the balls to tell you, I don't like your book. Oh, the girls don't like it. Anyway, I thought it was a really it went on for an hour and a half. Generally, the nighttime shows, I cut them off at an hour unless it's really interesting. This guy was it was a tough place to go down for me. And my mind goes back to Lorena Bobbitt. You know Lorena Bobbitt? You guys remember that? Or was it before you?
Oh yeah,
that was before.
I remember it.
Yeah,
I remember it.
John Wayne Bobbitt came home with his dick smelling like pussy, and his wife Lorena cut it off with.
Oh, yep.
And threw it out the window while
threw it
driving
in
down the
ditch.
road.
Threw it in the ditch.
Yeah.
Okay, so like after that story, this was like 5 years ago. This happened in Japan where a similar story happened. Like a man was cheating, wife caught off the dick. He went to the hospital. They sewed it back on. She went to the hospital, cut it off again.
Are you kidding me?
And that's why China is winning. They have follow through that Americans just don't.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Now, how'd you get past hospital security?
Right. I don't know all the details of the story, but it was cut off twice.
I mean, you know what's really stupid? She probably went and checked in and was like, "Oh, I'm his wife." Like, because he came in with the injury. He's probably not like, like being like that crazy bitch. Although that'd be great if he was while getting dirtied in. Like, but like he's probably back there getting operated on. The people at the front desk don't know any better. Oh no, I'm his wife. I heard my husband. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they just probably naturally just let her back. Like,
I'm just thinking this through.
Oh,
now sewing a dick back on is not it's not as simple as it sounds. There's lots of tubes. No, it's not just there's lots of tubes.
It's not just the skin. There's a lot of cell structure and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
Done it twice, right? They couldn't have done it twice. It's gone. It's got to be gone now, right?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you're peeing with the catheter from now on. Yeah, I would think.
It's crooked. It's at least crooked.
Depends on how sharp the knife she was using is.
Right. That's
depends is going to be your underwear, is what that is what.
Oh, God.
Well, Lorena Bobbitt used a dull knife when she did hers.
Of course she did.
And
she had some time to think.
They searched for it in the street because she threw it out the window, and they searched for it for hours, and they finally found it covered in like dirt and stuff, and it was on the side of a road, cars driving by, splashing shit on.
It's just hitchhiking.
And they sewed it back on, but
was it that one? I thought he got like a different one. I don't think it was actually his that he got back.
I thought he used his big toe.
I don't know.
I mean, I could be wrong, but because I mean, dude, especially for reattaching an extremity like that, like there's a time schedule. You know what I mean? Like, if that was sitting out there too long, there's no way it was usable. You know what I mean?
See, that's actually an interesting situation because you want it to be cold outside so it would preserve longer. But if it's cold outside, it would be harder to find.
That's true.
Right. Right.
The incident in which Lorena Bobbitt's severed husband John Wayne Bobbitt's penis occurred on June 23rd, 1993 in Manassas, Virginia. Well, not going to be called out in Manassas, Virginia. Lorena stated in a court hearing that after coming home that evening, her husband had raped her. Oh, I forgot about that. It wasn't like his dick was just smelling like another woman. He raped her, according to her, anyway.
What, you like came home drunk and forced himself on his wife or something?
Apparently, yes. After he then went to sleep, she got out of bed and went to the kitchen for a drink of water. She then grabbed for a drink. I'm just going to get a drink of water. Oh, there's a knife. An 8-inch Jinsu carving knife. Remember the Jinsu knives?
Yeah, the commercials. Those will cut through a can.
Returned to the bedroom, pulled back the bed sheets, and cut off his penis. Just make it seem so. Yeah, one quick swipe. Now, I don't know. So after Lorena left the apartment with the severed appendage, she left it. She didn't throw it out the window and drove away in the car after a length of time driving out, struggling to steer with one hand and hold the penis in the other. She threw the penis out the window of the car on a roadside field. She eventually stopped and called 911, telling them what happened and where to find the penis. John's penis was found after an exhaustive search, after being washed with antiseptic and packed in saline ice. It was reattached at the hospital where he was treated. The operation took 9.5 hours. John went on to star in 2 pornographic films in the 90s.
Yes, he did.
And
yes, he did.
2018 that his penis was back to normal.
Yeah.
Well, that's a story.
Okay. I don't even want to talk about the fact he's now a porn star. I did never consider the fact of the transportation of the penis. I always pictured it just laying in the passenger seat. The fact that she was driving around holding it in one hand and driving with the other like it's a snow cone or something is
and it
kind
was
of
a
work
stick.
the blinker.
And you know she was probably
and it was a stick besides, so she had to clutch.
And she didn't even put it in a bag. She didn't even have a bag of dicks.
Right.
She is the one person.
I feel like she had a convenient carrying case that she didn't even consider.
What's that?
Fuck off.
Her vagina.
I know.
Huh. I wouldn't have considered that either. That's me. Huh. But that's a great story to tell the grandkids. Come on, kids. Now, did they get divorced? That's the question. Or did he stay with her? Did she stay with him? It doesn't say that in the Wikipedia.
I'm pretty sure that ended the relationship. I mean, I'm spitballing here,
I don't know.
I can't.
Here's the thing: that guy who got shot in the head 5 times by his wife and lived. She was killing him for his insurance money. Shot him in the head, but didn't kill him, and he got up. He got up with 5 bullets in his head. None of them hit the brain, I guess. Somehow he got up while she was talking to the guy who was planning to kill him, to take the body out, and he got up. And he's just like, I got a headache. They stayed together after that whole court. They were still married after she got arrested for attempted murder and trying to. I know.
Where did this happen? I'm totally researching this. This is insane.
It was probably, I'm so fucking old that everything feels like yesterday. But probably.
What did she shoot him with? A BB gun? Like, what did he get shot with?
They were both on Oprah, and he was describing waking up with a massive headache. Woman, I don't know. Yeah, so
I don't know. And how do you forgive that? I don't know how you forget, and how, because like how I don't know how you go to sleep at night in the same like house as somebody who shot you 5 times. You know what I mean? Like that don't sound like something I would ever convince myself is a safe idea. You know what I mean? He must have had brain damage for sure. I'm
not sure this is the one.
100%, Ralph.
Florida man woke up with a severe headache and asked his wife to drive him to the hospital, where doctors found a bullet lodged in. This isn't the same one, in the right ear. The nurse looked at him and said, "It appears you've been shot." The man's wife, April Moylan, fled the emergency room where the bullet was discovered, but later told deputies she had accidentally shot her husband. No, this isn't the same story.
It's a very interesting story.
Jesus, how often is this shit happening?
So she just accidentally shot her husband and then just tried playing it off. Just like, man,
until the cops found the bullet, and she said, "Oh shit, I better get out of here."
Yeah.
And the bullet was still in his ear. Like, hey, what's this? Oh, like a little magic trick.
He was like, "Boop!" Look what I found.
Wow.
America's bullet headache man wife held. Oh, wait, no, it's the same story. Bullet headache. June. That's 2007. What did Ralph say? I missed Ralph's comment. What did he say in there?
He said he must have had brain damage.
I don't know. When he was on Oprah, he seemed pretty lucid. I gotta find this story, but anyway. So
I remember seeing a dude on a talk show that had been shot in the head, and like half of his head was missing. Like I've seen some people that survived some crazy stuff, but how do you stay with the person that shot you though? Like that's. What?
Well,
what?
You know what? Women stay with guys who beat them all the time, and people say, "Well, how do you stay?"
No, yeah, like I was just gonna compare it to like a battered wife syndrome. Like, what kind of battered wife syndrome level are you at where your partner can fucking shoot you and then convince you it's still worth staying and working it the fuck out? Fuck you, bitch! You tried to fucking kill me.
Now, if I have it correctly, and God knows I probably don't, but I believe she was not only shooting him for the insurance money. She actually didn't pull the trigger. Her boyfriend did because she was planning on leaving him, getting the money, and leaving with the guy who actually pulled the trigger. But he stayed with her. A lot of people. Some people have a different degree of forgiveness. What's the worst?
I mean,
worst
did that guy go to prison or anything? What happened
I'm
there?
trying to find that. Believe it or not, Google. If you Google "woman shoots husband in the head and he survives," you get pages and pages of results.
Jesus Christ.
Apparently
Women
there's
are
a lot
bad
of
shots. This is what we're finding out here. Women are
That's your takeaway here?
women need to spend a little more time on the range. Yeah. So
Jesus Christ.
it's that they're bad shots. That's the issue.
You need to work on their aim, goddammit. Oh.
well,
Need a little more follow through.
what do you
I
think?
miss my ex, but my aim is improving.
Here's a setup for you. What is the worst thing that you've ever forgiven somebody for? So the worst, obviously, it's not being shot in the head. Yeah. Remember what the worst thing you ever forgave somebody for? Oh, we have radio silence here, ladies and gentlemen. I've done it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good job. Good job on that, Matt.
Well, I can't remember, anything quite that egregious. I mean, I don't know.
I think one of my buddies took one of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards when I was younger. That might be.
Well,
we're still friends.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna answer this question, Matt.
What is it?
Well, it's
your
really,
father.
Well, no, actually, to me, I think forgiving my mother was harder. Forgiving my mother for knowing that my dad was a pedophile and staying with him anyway and putting her children at risk. That was really hard to forgive my mother for, because when I came to the understanding that my mother knew and protected, not only that she knew, but she protected him. She lied for him. She did a lot of things to cover his abuses. And today I understand that she did that as a part of what was wrong with her. You know what I mean? And what was going on with her own abuses that had been happening her whole life. You know what I mean? So like, that's why I was able to forgive her, because I understand that she did the best she could to navigate the very broken life that she lived.
Yeah, that's true with a lot of people. Like it's that's one thing I always think about too with people with trauma. Like they rationalize that. If it happens to when you're younger, you rationalize it, and that becomes your mindset, and that guides your normal behavior going forward. But that's what it really is. Like I've heard some people with some messed up beliefs that it's just them rationalizing what happened to them.
It's also could be a little self-preservation, although they don't think of it consciously like that. It's like, if he goes to jail, I'm fucked. I depend on him.
Yeah,
that's a messed up thing, man. It's a totally messed up thing. But I'm glad you forgave
or fearful of what they might do after they leave, because I think with my dad in particular, I think that was more what she was afraid of, is that if she left, my dad probably would have been the kind of guy to come and find her. And I think that idea really scared her.
I don't know. I'm trying to think, because I've had some forgiveness in my life, and I'm not sure any of it rates up there with any of this stuff. But cheated on, but not just cheated on, where there were plans to not kill me, but robbed me of everything I had, and I forgave those people, that woman and the guy she was with. Not that I forgive. We're not friends, but there was a plan to take everything, and then there was another one where I left $1 million, or close to $1 million house for a girl who basically I ended up living with 6 months, and I held a lot of resentment. Why would you make me leave my happy home and everything I had, and then be such a fucking terrible person, and not tell me you were a fucking total bitch beforehand, so I could have made that.
Yeah, just let me plan accordingly.
Yes, right. I wouldn't have left my. I walked away from a really beautiful house that I had spent years renovating. It was a money pit. It was when I found it. It was hadn't been lived in 60 years. Spent hundreds of thousands of dollars putting it into and it was a nice house. And then I met a young girl and I thought with my dick and not with my head. And I just said to the girl I was living with, "You can have the house. I'm leaving." Fucking, I know. So I should not forgive myself over that.
Yeah,
but
no, that sounds like a you problem. That wasn't.
no, it's definitely a me problem. I accept responsibility for making bad decisions, but the fact that she turned out to be such a rock
yeah.
person,
You got the okie doke. Yeah.
She played it up. She put on such a good act that made me and guilted me into, you gotta, we only live once, and we were meant to be together, and all this shit. And did a sales job on me.
Exactly how that feels. I know 100% how that feels.
Shh. I have a guy who authored a book called what is his book now? I forget the name of his book, but you can talk to him. He can he'll actually welcome you into the club of his counter feminists.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
He did use a lot of words that I'm sure people can't define. And yesterday I was talking about this. In America right now, we especially the people. This is a little political here. The people who insist speak English in America, you're going to come to this country, learn to speak the language. Those people don't know the words they use. They don't know they can't define woke. They can't define algorithm. People throw that word algorithm. Yeah, you say an algorithm. We define it.
Yeah,
it has math. I know math or something.
Something to do with math. Yeah. Oh my God. Shut up.
Yeah. I mean, we use words that we don't understand. This whole country is full of people just talking, saying words that they don't know the meaning of.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things that piss me off. Like, I don't like people that like, that's not proper English. There's over 13 official dialects and way to speak in America that is proper. There's not one way of speaking. Southern dialect and proper, like y'all, all that's proper for them.
Right.
That's not wrong that they talk like that. It's not improper. It's people talk.
All right. Now, do you say soda? Do you say pop? What do you say over there?
I say Mountain Dew.
I say both though. I say both soda and pop. It depends.
Well, that Mountain Dew is wrong. We've covered this before, Preston, and I'm sorry to say I'm gonna have to let you go now. Mountain Dew is not soda. Damn it! He's showing the bottle. He fucked me.
God damn it! You gotta pay for that, Will.
It's not soda or pop. It's moonshine whiskey. Mountain Dew is moonshine whiskey.
That's true.
It really is, dude. If you mix Mountain Dew with liquor, it is super good.
No, Mountain Dew, the soda pop got its name from the original Mountain Dew. Moonshine whiskey used to be called Mountain Dew. So the soda brand name was taken from that. It's not like if you mix Mountain Dew with. I think they designed it that way. I think they made it to where it was a great companion to liquor. There was no such thing as soda. Now, did you guys ever drink fresh made whiskey?
Oh yeah,
I've had some homemade moonshine.
Homemade. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen it being made? Have you been like to still areas and stuff? Bootleg,
No. A couple of my friends got some uncles that do it, but I've never seen the stills.
Oh man, I almost died in college with that stuff. First of all, it was 100% alcohol. Like it might as well have been grain alcohol, and mix it with Kool-Aid. And my God, the hangover from that stuff is atrocious. But I mean, it can kill you. You can definitely die on just a little bit of that stuff. It's like drinking poison.
So there's a Midwest thing. We call it apple pie. It's usually made with like store vodka, but you can use any clear liquor. But you just get a jar, and I forget what you all put in it. You just soak a few things in there, and like sticks. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's how I had it. So I had pure grain alcohol that was made out of still, and then they just put some cinnamon sticks in it and passed it around the party. Yo, that was fucking terrible.
It's amazing we can sit here and have a conversation after poisoning brains like this.
I'm a ghost.
Oh yeah. I should have been dead 100 times over, easy.
Yeah. But specifically the brain damage I've caused myself, and still able to somewhat speak, not always speak articulately, but somewhat speak articulately. Anyway, so now the comedy shows you got going on next week, you got Will's coming all the way from New Mexico to open for you. Couldn't get a local guy.
No. No, they all hate me. Anyways, but no, it's kind of funny. I was looking for an opener, and he called me up like about a month ago. I was like, "Hey, you know anything this weekend?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a thing for you."
So with the North Dakota stuff, how long a trip is it for you? Is it
It's about 3 hours for me, 3.5.
so you live close to the border of the two soon-to-be states?
Well, Fargo's not far from the border. I'm on the other side of. I gotta drive across the whole state. But
You know, I've never been to Fargo, but I've seen it in a movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it anything like?
I've actually never been, so this will be my first time going to Fargo.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow! And it's only 3 hours away. I would have, especially after the movie came out. I would.
I'm thinking I'm wrong about that. Let me check on. That doesn't seem right, and I should know that.
You don't know if you've ever been to Fargo.
No, I don't know how far away it is.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it's more than 3.5 hours. I think
I
it's
think it might be like 5.
It's a 24-hour drive.
Yeah, I've done those. Don't fucking test me.
Yeah, no, me too, bro.
Those states are pretty big. Pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like and they're an eyesore because like there's nothing out there. Like there's not like stuff that you're looking at and going, it's just flat bullshit.
corn.
Flat.
Yeah.
Flat.
Yeah,
Not mountains.
a lot. Not on the east side. Like West River in west of the Missouri River is where the mountains start really having like the Badlands and stuff like that.
Wow.
No, 3 hours 56 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So what? Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
What's the
Pretty close.
speed limit out there? Is it
80.
70?
It's 80. We go 80.
80.
Yeah, it's all corn. We don't give a fuck. It's
Yeah.
Right. When I was in
And I
New
mean, they're not
Mexico,
going to
didn't
pull
have
you
to have-
over. They're not going to pull you over 84, 85.
I got pulled over like a month ago for going 81 in the 80, and I
Get
just
the
looked.
fuck
I
out.
looked right at the cop and go, "Just tell me you were bored." Like, what's
Right.
why did you?
Yeah.
quota time.
Yep.
When I was in New Mexico, you didn't have to have car insurance because they figured all you could hit was a cow anyway, and but cows cost money, right?
Yeah.
Are there where you live like a lot of traffic ever? Is like there anything that you need car insurance like collision for?
Yes, we have people. True story. I was on a podcast a while ago, and someone from another country, but they literally asked me, "Is there street lights in South Dakota?"
Why is that?
I mean, not in every town.
Not my. I'm in New York. I'm in New York, and there's no streetlights here. There's no streetlights where I live at all. It is dark as fuck. And
I actually got to think about it. I don't know if there are street lights over in the Black Hills.
Yeah, dude, out here in New Mexico, man, like they do not light up the roadways, especially if you get any bit outside of town. It is dark as shit out here.
Yeah.
But I like it because then you really see the stars. You don't have that light pollution.
Right. Yeah, and the moon is bigger than anything. When full moon nights, when the moon is just coming up, like if you're on the road between Albuquerque and Santa Fe, I forget that road, but man, the moon is huge. It looks like you could reach up and touch it. It's amazing how if you haven't experienced that and you're in a big city, you got to get out into America and see what the stars are like at night. So. Now, we were talking earlier about Will's gig and people who don't promote it. Now, this gig that you're coming up now, obviously, this is some kind of promotion, but I don't know how many people we have in Fargo listening to this program. But with promotion and stuff, is that always on you when you're booking these gigs? Does the club expect you to do all the promotional and marketing work?
So with social media nowadays, it is a lot up to the comic. I mean, mainly because people like feeling connected to people that they patronize. You know, they wanna know you. They want to know the person that they're going to go see. They want to know that you're a real person. So that's really like a lot of times clubs will pay for the advertising itself, but I like to make those old like radio ads, like Preston Williams coming to Fargo, North Dakota.
He
Yeah,
actually made a really good. He made a really good promo video. I like that.
I
a
usually
lot.
make those for the shows I did. I just saw a guy come to town once, and he had something like that with just like, you know, a little bit of his comedy stuff on there and just a quick little promo. And I remembered it, so I just started making those, and those actually seem to work pretty well. Like,
Now, don't get offended by this question, but your name has commercial value. Your name sounds like Preston Williams. Fuck, of course I know who Preston Williams is.
right?
Do people come to people come to your show and surprised that that's Preston Williams?
Yeah, like there's a lot. There's a lot of Williams, like in comedy. I mean, Robin, Cat. I mean, there's a few.
And the name just rolls off your tongue. It sounds like a celebrity name. So if I had Preston, somebody said that to me in the conversation. You know Preston Williams? Oh yeah, of course. I do that all the time. And I'm like,
I actually did that on purpose. So that Williams isn't my real last name.
I know we went over that.
Oh yeah. Okay, I won't do it again then. Go watch the old video.
You can. I'm sure the 3 people listening in Fargo right now never heard it.
Right, but so like my last name was just hard to pronounce, Gagne, Gagne. I just got sick of people mispronouncing it, and I didn't want to deal with that in my comedy career. So my full name, I have 5 names. My full legal name is Preston William Jonathan Peter Gagne.
Gagne.
Yeah, that's how everyone pronounces it.
I was going to say Gagne because you first said Gagne because there was a baseball player, Eric Gagne.
Yep.
Gagne. But that's how they pronounce it here in New York. Whenever I don't know if that was the pronounce.
Yeah, there's everyone I've met with the last name Gagne, they say Gagne just because they got sick of correcting people. I literally, it's a common thing. So I just got sick of it, and so I just went with my first name, which my middle name's so it's Willie Johnson Peter. My name is Preston Dick.
And then gag me.
Gag on those sticks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I got in trouble in high school, my first day in high school, when the teachers went, Preston, gag me? And I go, if you insist.
Yeah, they don't like that.
I got detention.
Teachers really have zero appreciation for sarcasm. That's one thing I learned in school.
I had this really dumb teacher that when they did roll, they kept on calling me William. Because my first name is Preston-William. And I got in trouble with him because I wouldn't respond. I'm like,
you're not saying my name.
I'm not saying my fucking name.
Wow. So now sports in South Dakota. Do you grow up a sports fan? I mean, I know Will is a Cubs fan somehow. I don't get that. You're also a Bears fan, which is the question. But do you grow up sports? do you have any sports teams in South Dakota or is it college?
We in South Dakota, you'll mainly find Vikings fan and Green Bay fans. Vikings fans because we're right next to Minnesota, and Green Bay fans because no one likes the Vikings fans here.
Right. Well, the New York Jets are going to get Aaron Rodgers.
I do. Is that seriously going to happen?
I don't know. That's what the Jet fans are telling me. But I always say Jet fans are like Met fans. Their balls are just shaped differently. But that's what they claim is going to happen. But listen, isn't he my age? Aaron Rodgers, he's got to be 65, 66 years old now.
No, I think he's probably in his late. He might be in his early 40s, I guess. Him and Brady have got to be close in age.
Yeah, I think he's old.
I'm sure Brady's a little bit older, though, isn't he?
listen, 40 years old, whatever it is, that's too old to be playing quarterback, I think, because listen, one fucking really brutal tackle in your life is now you're going to spend the rest of your life. You got spend now all time becoming a chick magnet, getting rich, all that stuff, and then throw it all away because you hung on for one too many hits, and now you're in a wheelchair getting fed food through a straw for the rest of your life. You know,
Well, I mean, it
can't
costs a
walk
lot
away.
to have a chip on your shoulder, you know.
Yeah. Are you a Bears fan?
Who,
You,
Preston?
yeah, you Cub fan? Are
Oh,
you a
I
Bears
love.
fan?
Yeah, I love the Bears.
Now, how did you get to be a Chicago fan from Iowa? I don't get it.
So I'll say that, especially when it comes to the Bears, because the Bears are actually the like last team that I came into alignment with. Because I've always been a Chicago Cubs fan, I've always been a Bulls fan. Those were easy choices for me growing up in the '90s.
By the way,
Um,
the Jets are looking at Jim McMahon as a backup in case the Rodgers thing doesn't work out. Go ahead.
oh, okay. The way that I became a Bears fan is I actually, this is going to throw you off even more. My family didn't watch NFL growing up, so I would go to a
Too
friend's
busy raping
house.
kids. I'm sorry.
I mean, it just that was not Sunday activity in our home. Yeah, I think raping kids was usually on the list. That's why I tried to get out of the house. So because I'll tell you what, when you grow up with a pedophile father, you really got to watch your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
You don't
anyway,
want to play Senate.
yeah. So I would go over to a friend's house, and my friend's family was from Florida, and they were Miami Dolphins fans. And so I just cheered for the team that everybody else cheered for. So for years and years, I followed the Dolphins. And then when they traded Jason Taylor, that was the proverbial straw for me. I couldn't stand the decisions of the front office, and so I was like, I'm switching teams. I can't take this shit anymore. I felt like they held on to Dan Marino for like 3 or 4 seasons longer than they should have. And there was just a lot of decisions between that time and when they traded Jason Taylor that I was really upset about. And so I said, fuck it, and so I did a whole season where I just observed. I didn't really cheer for anybody. I just cheered for football. And
You
in that
audited.
whole season, nobody stood out to me. Like nobody felt like, yeah, I gotta cheer for this team. But then I started to reason with myself. I was like, well, I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. It would only make sense that I be a Chicago Bears fan. So then I started researching like the Chicago Bears history. I got it's actually somewhere. I have the book somewhere. Might be anyway. Like 100 things every Chicago fan needs to know. I started and I saw like what a tough, gritty team they were, and I really fell in love with their history.
You love
And
Brian Piccolo? You love Brian Piccolo? Do you love Brian Piccolo?
oh my god,
You tell me you love Brian Piccolo. You gotta love Brian. I love Brian Piccolo.
jeez.
No?
Is that Jordan Peterson asking that question?
No, that was Gail Sayers. That's my Gail Sayers.
Oh, that's your Gale Sayers impression?
Well, from the movie. The guy who played him in the movie who said, I love
Are you
Brian
talking about
Piccolo.
Brian's song or whatever?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I love Brian Piccolo.
My wife did not want to watch that movie with me. I told her what it was about, and she's like, "I'm not watching that. I don't want to cry."
You've never seen Brian. You're a Bears fan, and you've never.
No,
seen
I've
Brian.
seen it. I've seen it. My wife wouldn't watch it with me. I tried to get my wife to watch
Now,
it.
did they make a remake of that? Because the original James Caan was the original Brian Piccolo.
I am pretty sure that they haven't redone it.
That sucks. They got to come up with some new ideas, making the same movies over and over again. Right. Anyway, I mean, I was just curious how you got to be a Bears fan. Now, you're going to open for Preston in Fargo, North Dakota. Boys from North Dakota, they polish up their guns or something like that. What's the Lyle Lovett song, North Dakota? You know that song, North Dakota?
No.
Shame on you both.
For not being Lyle Lovett fans. Okay.
Well, yeah.
I'll take that shame, sir.
No, for the North Dakota. I mean, come on, that's like the song for North. There's no other songs about North Dakota. There's not one song. Can't name a popular song with North Dakota in it, other than my Lovett song, North Dakota. Anyway, you're going there to open up for Preston.
Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere. Talks about Fargo. Ha!
Oh, that's right. I've been everywhere, man.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. All right, I'm done.
What? Wait, I think there's a Charlie Rich song that mentions Fargo too. Most beautiful girl in the whole USA might. I think it might. Anyway, good call, Preston. Got me on that. Fuck. I hate when people get me on shit.
Yeah, get him, Preston. We need that.
So
we're gonna have you on board.
Now, do you feel any responsibility for making Preston's show a great show? Like, if you bomb, does that ruin the show for him, and are you feeling pressure on that?
Listen, if I remember Preston's name when I I don't know if I'm hosting. It's probably a different host.
Yeah,
so I probably won't have to remember his name, but I want to tell you a story about Preston. Okay, this is one of my favorite fucking stories. Preston is a good friend of mine. I fucking love this dude. I love working with him. He's one of the funnest guys to work with. And I think when we're paired together, I think it's a really good time for a crowd. But that being said, when I was having my headlining gig at Bosses in Sioux Falls before they moved out to T, I had Preston open the show, and he goes to introduce me, and I'll say this: I gave him a big long introduction
that I memorized.
And he did.
That whole list.
He had that fucking thing down pat, 100%. Blanked on my fucking name. I'm standing stage side, ready to fucking go. He hits all the marks on the intro. I'm super happy with him. And then he goes, "What the fuck's his name?" And I'm just like, we're fucking friends, bro. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus. Like, but it was, I know what it was. He was so.
Congratulate himself for remembering all that.
Right. He was so happy about remembering all that shit that anything else just left his brain for that moment. And it was beautifully fucking funny. And the whole crowd fucking died.
It was some of the best showmanship I've ever had. He's not from North all the way.
Oh yeah. Played it up. Yeah. Oh,
fuck, I don't know his name.
I have that on audio recording. I hope you know that.
Does it make a difference how the opener does? Does
the opener's got to set the mood. I always when I open for someone, I always kind of try to match that vibe. Like, I'll ask someone, like, what are you going to talk about? Are you going to be happy-go-lucky, family-friendly? You can talk about some depressing shit. What are you doing? I'll kind of, try to set their vibe for them.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, whatever works. Cause I know this is a kind of a petty thing, but I know there are comedians I've talked to who don't like it when the opener kills and the room is fucking.
That is true.
On fire.
That is true. I've had that happen where I've just killed on an opener and the guy just didn't know how to start his set. Like I've done the killer 20 minutes opener for someone and then just watch the guy struggle to start. Like
it's got to feel like, I'm sorry, I know you paid to see me, but at least you got him.
Yeah.
You know what that can lead to? That can lead to the incredibly uncomfortable situation of, after a show, having a fan tell you in front of the headliner that you were the funniest one.
Oh yeah. No,
and that'll cost you. That'll definitely cost you.
Yeah, people don't. Could you just shut up? Say that outside the presence of the headliner.
Yeah. Do you have to say that in front of this dude? I'm definitely not getting booked by him ever again. Like,
so now, do you?
Which, by the way, I think is stupid. by the way, because I don't understand why people don't want to work with someone who is very, very funny. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they outshine you a little bit, but it entertains the crowd that you have exponentially. You know what I mean? Like, this crowd is more happy having this person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
It
understand that
comes back
logic.
to what we talked about before with your mom. It's a subconscious. It's not a conscious thing. It's a subconscious thing of self-preservation. It's that. It's not that I don't want the room laughing. It's that maybe people are going to find out that I'm not as good as I think I am, and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's self-preservation. That's what I think. That's what it boils down to.
Right.
Now, how do you deal with that with the audience member that says that? Are you polite to them and say that and try to take the compliment graciously, or do you? Gee, I really wish you wouldn't have said
Yeah,
that.
no, I mean, I think so. Like in that situation, I was like, but these guys are great. Like I accepted the compliment, but also like reverted back to the other comics saying they also did great. You know what I mean? Because like even if somebody feels that way, I want you to come away from it feeling like you enjoyed the experience and not just me in particular. You know what
Right.
I mean? Because and I especially don't want my coworkers, feeling like I won't back them up either. You know what I mean? Because the other comics that I work with, those are my coworkers. You know what I mean? And I don't,
Right.
like I don't want people to just run them down. You
Right.
know?
So next week there is the 24th and 25th, right? That's the dates we're looking at, Friday and Saturday. Spring, it will be officially spring there. Does the weather change like immediately? In New Mexico, it used to change immediately. It went from winter to summer. There's no spring in New Mexico. It goes from it snowed and then now it's 100 degrees.
No, the weather changes immediately in South Dakota, but not according to the seasons. It will go from summer back to winter. We have what we call second and third winter, which is when it snows in July for some fucking reason.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen it snow in June.
Yeah.
In South Dakota.
Now that doesn't affect the crowd with you, though, right? People will come out in blizzards.
Oh yeah, we're used to it. We're resilient.
So weird, like because in the southern states, an inch of snow will keep people housebound for a week.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and although I've lived in other places in the country, I've never seen it celebrated like it is here in New York. Do people give a shit about St. Patrick's Day out there?
Oh yeah, there's usually a bar crawl. Let people get together. Your downtown's always busy,
Do they do the green beer shit?
Oh yeah, they do that. They do that.
Here, Central Park will be full. At least I'm talking like I know from my era, and I think this is still true. Central Park will be full of people from 15 to 22, 23 years old, full packed. An 8-mile square park packed with drunken teenagers and young 20-something. And trains will be packed with people. It's just like a very big, because New York is, it was founded, big part of the culture here was Irish cops and all Irish immigrants. So it's a huge holiday here. But, I don't think it is most other places in the country. So.
Yeah, no, I usually try to celebrate a little bit of Irish heritage. My father was Irish. I assume I never met him, and that is a telltale sign.
Astro 8.
Is that a?
You know what it is?
I'm guessing is that a blunt or what?
It's got cannabis all over it, right? Maybe you don't know, but I'm betting Will knows about this stuff. Maybe Preston. He seems like a nicer young man. Maybe he doesn't. The beads that sex toys, the beads that
anal beads.
Yeah,
anal beads.
Yeah, and they pull them in, pull them out. I believe that's what this is.
What?
It's like an anal cannabis high. I don't know. It's like an edible in reverse. It's an anal.
You're gonna be high off your ass.
Anal.
What you gonna be?
No, I'm gonna eat them. I'm gonna eat them. They haven't been in anybody else's ass yet. It's still freshly wrapped. I'm gonna eat it like an edible. It's 100 milligrams, but I believe it's kind of an anable, not an edible, an anable, where you get.
America is done. We're
Well, I'll do it for you right now.
experiment has
Hold on.
failed. The experiment has failed. We're done. We're done. We're done.
Ah.
No, we're done.
Yeah, no, this is the shit that makes me want to just blow up the planet.
Burn it all down. Try again.
Well, you
Burn
wouldn't
everything down.
You wouldn't try anables?
No, I'll smoke weed.
Well,
Like
you'll
an
get to the
adult.
point. You'll get to the point where I am, where you can't smoke weed anymore because you can't, because you choke and you wheeze, and it's just too much.
Get the
I mean, I
weed
suppose
off.
as you get older, you're more used to suppositories.
Yeah, I guess it's not your first round.
Are you familiar with these? Mike Tyson edibles. But they're bite.
Oh my god, yeah, the ears. Yeah, the ears.
Yeah, and they're shaped like ears.
Yeah.
And
I did see those.
20 milligrams each. Yeah, it's just edibles. Edibles are better.
I want to try the purple Urkel. Did you know that? So Snoop Dogg and Jaleel White, who played Steve Urkel on Family Matters, they have a marijuana strain called Purple Urkel that I really want to try. Like,
wow.
That's something that you never thought would happen. That like Snoop Dogg and fucking.
I'm surprised that Urkel is a weed guy. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I don't know. It seemed like, and I know it was just a character he was playing, but it even so, it just doesn't seem like a weed guy.
Yeah.
Listen, Stefan did not get the swag that he had.
That is true. Stefan smoked.
Stefan, like Steve Urkel may not have smoked, but Stefan Urkel, that motherfucker, he be cheaping. Like,
I don't know. See, this is after way after my time. I've never seen the show. I'm familiar with the character of Steve Urkel, but what's the Stefan guy? Is that like an alternate?
So later on in the show, in the later seasons,
he drinks a potion.
Yeah, he made some sort of machine where he can change into like an alter self that is like very cool, very suave, and he comes in and just sweeps Laura off her feet. You know what I mean? And
what I'm guessing here is one of the writers went out and saw the movie The Nutty Professor and said, we could write that into the show somehow.
I mean, I mean, it's definitely
that's what it is. They went and watched The Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what was crazy to me?
It was a potion is because of Nutty Professor.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's the reason why. That's interesting. Yep, they're those basically same plot.
Yeah.
Are you guys fans of the original or the Eddie Murphy Nutty Professor?
Oh, you're talking about with Jerry Lewis?
Yes.
Dude, Jerry Lewis is fucking fabulous. What's the movie where he was a boxer? Dude, I see clips of that all the time. I haven't seen that one.
I think you're talking about In the Army.
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, but there's one where he plays a boxer that I have to see because I keep seeing clips of it.
No, it's In the Army, and that's when he was with Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. That's a black and white one. And they set him up as and Dean knew he was going to get. I don't know. It was like Dean chickening out and making him this
take the beating for him.
Yeah, take the beating for Myron M. Mertz. You know what the M stands for? Myron.
Oh my god!
Myron M. Mertz. The M stands for Myron because when his mother used to call him, she had to call him twice. She'd say Myron, and so that's how he got that Myron M. Mertz. These are Jerry Lewis jokes, by the way. Not mine.
Jerry Lewis is great.
He's dead.
That to me that's sort of a lost art form anymore. Like nobody's
ripping off paralyzed kids. Is it the lost?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I think it's still a valid art form. I think it still can be done. It's done well.
Not.
You'll never walk alone or walk.
Was he getting like fat cash from that the whole time?
Yeah.
Jeez.
He was cashing in on muscular dystrophy. Yeah. Well, more pledges. Well, he hit the tote board.
He was really funny though.
Yeah, I was a huge Jerry Lewis fan growing up because that's what it was when I was a kid. But now finding out that he was a scumbag, I have to be able to separate the artist from the art and
Right.
still be able to be a fan. I do that a lot, and I was talking about that yesterday. People get mad at you if you're a fan of somebody who should be canceled in
Right.
their estimation. Like
Yeah.
I can't be a fan of Louis C.K. because he showed his dick to somebody I never met. He asked
Well,
somebody
and he asked first too, so that's the other thing. Like with Louis C.K., like he really got shame. You know, he got really put out. His is more of a kink shame than anything,
Right.
because like
Would it be okay if I jerk off in front of you right now?
No. Thanks for asking, though.
yeah, I appreciate that you asked, and
Yeah,
and
say that's
please
all
don't
we
do
need. That's
exactly.
all it takes.
You know, like to me, like what, like um.
No, he's got a great bit on that
But
when he like a special that he released after that all happened, where he's just like, for those of them who want to masturbate in front of someone, don't. Just go home.
Just
Go home and
even if
masturbate.
if
It's
they
the
tell
same
you it's
thing.
okay,
Yeah, it's the same thing. Just go home and masturbate. It's fine.
so would it be okay if I shoved anables up my ass in front of you?
I want to say yes, but I don't know.
I think they take a
That
while to hit you. I think the whole point of anables is they're quicker than edibles. Because my problem
right,
with edibles, you could eat them and then feel like they didn't
right.
work. It didn't work.
Right.
That's true.
No, I always forget every time I've taken an edible. I always forget that I've taken an edible until 4 hours later. I'm like, why am I laughing at everything? Oh yeah.
My problem is I drink and I'm not a drinker, but when I take edibles, I drink, and usually I only have one drink, but it will fuck me up. And now I'm not sure if it's the vodka or the edible that is causing me to have these unbelievable masterpiece hallucinations when I'm laying in bed. Like, I mean, it's not it's not lucid dreaming, but it's close to lucid dreaming. But it's the most incredible, I don't know, euphoric hallucinations I've ever had in my life. It's like I stumbled onto this combination of just enough vodka and about 100 milligrams of edibles, and I mean, it's like lucid dreaming, but it's much more high resolution, if that makes sense. It's like the
Yeah.
difference between watching a black and white movie and watching a 4K in your face, Technicolor production. It's like, holy shit, look at this shit going on inside my fucking head. I love it.
Right. See, that right there is why we got to do DMT together. That's because
Can you have you done, Preston? Do you know DMT?
I've
I don't
never
know.
done that.
Is it available? Do you know? Because you guys would be more likely to hear about it than I would.
You're in New York. You feel like it's.
I'm old though. People think I'm a cop. They look at me and
You do look like a cop. You look like a
I mean-
Chicago police officer.
I look like Officer Groucho Marx.
Yeah.
You-
Officer Jack Tanner.
No, but I've got that my whole life. People think I'm a cop, so they don't talk around. So I've been
Can
investigating.
we make you an English Bobby instead?
I could do that too. There's a whole lot of things I can morph into, but none of them is like successful talk show host, unfortunately.
Oh, you're already there. You're already there. You're a success that they don't know about yet, bro.
All right, I'll take it. Well, it's time to wrap things up anyway. It's 20 after 10, and I have to do. Listen, 2 o'clock in the morning. A restaurant owner text me his specials for St. Patrick's Day. And he said, can I help him out with some designs to get him up for the weekend? Like, it's just Thursday morning already. The weekend is here. And you're asking me for help on starting from scratch on a St. Patrick's Day special with all your fucking specials. It's like, you need a little more lead time than that. I'm not like, I'd love to help you out, but it's already St. Patrick's Day. So that's what I have to do now. I got to go fucking draw leprechauns for a guy. That's what I got to do.
If it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would get done.
That's true. I do believe in the power of procrastination to get you moving.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
nothing like a deadline that says an hour and a half from now to get you motivated?
I never start preparing. Whenever I do an hour, you're supposed to prepare. It's a good idea to prepare. I always do it 30 minutes before the show starts. I never.
That applies to this one. Next week, you don't know what you're going to say yet.
No clue. No clue. It's funner that way for me. I gotta enjoy it too.
Wow,
Yeah.
good for you. I like that. No, I approach it much in the same way. I hate when people like sometimes we work with sub drummers, and the first question is, "Can you send me a set list?" Like, fuck you. I hate you guts. You're never working with us. Don't ever ask me that question again. If you see me and you ask me for a set list, I'm gonna punch you and then ask questions later.
Yeah.
I don't like, and then I get people who want to be on the show. Can we have a pre-interview? Like, fuck you and die. Fuck you and die. That's my
Improvise.
pre-interview. I don't want to talk to somebody more before and ruin. Oh, so you said all the good shit an hour before we went live. You were full of, and then we get on air and you got nothing left to talk about. Fuck you! I don't want to do that. So I appreciate your attitude towards that. Are you excited? Are you? Is this a start of something big for you, or
I hope this is the first time I'm ever doing 2 shows in one city for a weekend, so that's pretty big for me. I'm hoping I can start doing some more stuff like that. I'm trying to get on the road more.
Are you doing merch? Are you?
Oh yeah, I got merch. I actually got a merch store on my website that's scrolling across the bottom there.
PrestonWilliamsComedy.com is where you're going to go to find that merch, folks.
Yep. Check it out. I got a merch. I got an album on there you can purchase.
You know what we got to get?
What's the album from?
It's when right after I broke my collarbone, I did a show about that. Just about. It's called Young Broke Comedian.
All right.
Okay. All right.
All right. Before we wrap this up, I'm glad you said that because I would have forgotten about this. If you have, because on Spotify, if you play your comedians don't get paid on Spotify, they refuse to pay. And same as Apple iTunes, you don't get any royalties whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
on Mind Dog Radio on Live 365. We do actually. If you are if you actually copyrighted and gone through a publisher and done the whole stuff and have a rights organization, you will get paid. If you send me your MP3s, I will put comedy in the mix of the continual music stuff. You'll get exposure and you'll get paid every time somebody hears it. So
wow.
And if you wanted to do anything, contribute, just talk. I got a funny bit for a minute. I want to pick up my phone, just record a funny bit, send it to me through your phone. It will be in the rotation on Mind Dog Radio on Live 365, and you can plug anything, do anything you want, use it as a promotional tool. Getting a lot of listeners there already. I mean, last night on the live stream, 1,365 overnight, 1,365 people. That's that's a decent number of people,
especially just starting out.
Yeah.
So
putting that out there for all comedians, especially you two guys, if you got anything in audio format and you want to make a penny here, a penny there, send it to me. I'll put it on the live stream.
Wow.
Are you gonna have some of Jackie Martlin's stuff on there, the Joke Man?
Oh yeah, you can believe I'm gonna have a lot, but not the same stuff he has on TikTok. I'm just gonna take the stuff he's done on my show, cut that up into audio pieces, and just put that there. The three-legged chicken joke that he did.
I love. Is that the one I'm thinking of? The first time I heard that joke was from Ronald Reagan. Is it? Okay, I think I know the three-legged chicken joke.
I think the first time Jackie heard it was from Reagan's grandfather. But that joke on my YouTube channel has gotten 10,000 views in a short of that, and people like whole jokes. I don't know.
I know. I was actually thinking about doing that because I just do know. Before I got into comedy, I always loved jokes. I have so many old street jokes memorized. I'd hate to have them.
He's getting millions on his TikTok. I know TikTok isn't properly monetized. He should be doing it in YouTube Shorts because he'd be making some money off it. I'll have to have this conversation with him. But there is an opportunity there if you can do that, to just read jokes and make money on YouTube Shorts just with those shorts. It's not, nobody grows up thinking, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'd like to just tell jokes for 1 minute at a time. But, supplemental income while you're doing what you really want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for being a trooper and showing up early. I know you were in the staging area pretty early this morning.
Yep, no, I didn't want to miss it. We never brought it up, but I wanted to bring up the inside joke of the title here for the episode.
Maybe Preston Williams.
Yep, I love that because last time, like a month ago, I asked to be on here, just overslept.
That's not why I did that, though. I did it because I wasn't sure at the time whether we were going to have you on Wednesday or Thursday, and so I if I name it Preston, maybe Preston, I could just move the bucket in StreamYard, and it would be right.
That's funny. I thought you were throwing shade.
No, not at all. But you know what? It's good promotion anyway. Maybe.
Ooh.
Preston Williams. Yeah, I know him. I've heard of him, right? Wait, he's a white guy? Not who I thought Preston Williams was. Could have sworn he was a black guy. He's not in the NBA. Preston Williams. He's like 6'9".
There is. Okay, so my goal is to be the Preston Williams that comes up when you Google Preston Williams.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
Right
I feel
now,
the same way, dog.
It's a Dolphins football player.
Right.
And
Okay.
they got me. That's got the same name. So I just have to
Right.
kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of that going around. You know, Preston Nichols was my first crazy guest. And I anytime I hear the word name Preston, it goes back to that. And then Preston Wilson was a Met who was going to be a superstar, never was, and they ended up trading him for Mike Piazza. But so Preston, I always want to say Preston Williams or Preston Nichols when I hear your name.
And then there's Billy Preston, whose real name was William Preston.
Wow.
The fifth Beatles name was William Preston.
It sounds like the commercial. This conversation is going around in circles.
Yeah. Ah, fuck you.
All right, one guy got the fucking joke. Thank you very much.
I'm a big Billy Preston fan.
All right. Well, I guess that bad joke is a best place to wrap this up. I'm at Apple. You're gonna love this next guy. The next guy is Gov's Comedy. Oh, by the way, I got to get off the air because Gov's Comedy wants this spot right now. They're coming on live. Knock 'em Dead Comedy is coming right up. That's the show for you this morning, folks. Thanks for being here. Preston, it's always a pleasure. Come back. Well, you're always back, but it's the first time this week, which is a little weird. But thanks for being here, guys. And
Thank you so much.
I'll catch you on the rebound. I'm gonna tell everybody to remember to turn on your radio. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.
Bye.